Ladies and gentlemen, it is official. We have a plan for the rebuilding of UST, Luna, and the Terra network. Now this comes right from the top from Do Kwon. I'm going to go over exactly what he said and share his plan to rebuild in detail. I'm going to show you where I think it's realistic, where the flaws may be, and explain how both the holders of Terra tokens and outsiders can profit from the changes that are coming. Even though I'm talking about profits, nothing I share is financial advice. Also, please throw me a quick like and subscribe. I'll keep you up on all the stablecoin news. Since the collapse of UST and the Terra network, followed around by the hyperinflation and the massive devaluation of the Luna token, things have become much more calm. Terra validation was halted for a while. Most major exchanges have delisted Luna, which has gone from being worth a nice little pile of these to a tiny fraction of that. In case you didn't realize the magnitude of this, $1 million in Luna last weekend won't even buy you a Starbucks now. It looks like the recovery plan is going to start with a fork to the Terra network. That means they will be shutting down the old blockchain. The validators, the wallets, the tokens, the transactions, all of that will go away. And Terra will begin moving the existing code, network, community, and creating a new blockchain. If you're wondering why they're doing all that, let's answer it by jumping into this most recent document to come out from Do Kwan. The holders of Luna have so severely been liquidated and diluted that we will lack the ecosystem to build back up from the ashes. If you don't fully understand this collapse, here's a link to my deep dive on it. But the short version is that during the depegging of US Tether, massive amounts of Luna tokens were minted. On May 10th, there were 345 million Luna tokens. Today, it's over 6.5 trillion. This is why the Luna token has to go. This other quote is also really important. While a decentralized economy does need decentralized money, UST has lost too much trust with its users to play the role. Yes, nobody wants UST anymore. It's selling for less than 20% of its $1 peg, which means it's time to create a new ecosystem. Do Kwan also outlines some of the elements that he wants to bring through the fork. Things like their developer ecosystem. Terra is tied with so many DeFi projects, NFTs, bridges, staking platforms, and all of these people have put years of work and millions of dollars into these projects. So they want to make sure that their effort is not lost, and these projects can continue somewhere on a Terra chain. Also, Terra has a huge user base. Over 1 million people have interacted with this chain. So he wants to bring as much of that as possible too. The rest of the document is covering the financial plan to rebuild the token. Kwon plans to create a new token. No idea what it will be called, but ownership of the network will exist in the form of 1 billion tokens. He also detailed how these tokens would be distributed. UST holders need to own a large share of the network. As the network's debt holders, they deserve to be compensated for the tokens they have been holding to the end. Kwon's proposal plans to give 40% of the tokens in this new chain to the Terra USD holders before the UST depegging. An additional 40% will go to the UST holders pro rata at the time of the network upgrade. 10% goes to Luna holders before the chain halt, and 10% to the community pool to fund future development. Terra needs a community to continue to grow and to make this block space valuable again. The only way to do this is to make sure that the token holders before the attack commenced, the most loyal community members and builders, stick around to keep providing value. So if you hold UST or held Luna before the chain halt, you can expect an airdrop of this new token to come sometime in your future. Oh, and if you held UST, it looks like that airdrop will be automatically staked, which I think is brilliant. So that's the new plan. A new token. Ownership will go mostly to UST holders, but the question is, will it work? One of the big risks is that people will flee and sell as soon as the airdrop hits. Most airdrops run into this. Free tokens, people cash out. And after what UST holders have been through, you can't blame them. But if you believe in the community, the infrastructure, and the team at Terra, then there's a good chance of getting some cheap tokens right when this airdrop hits. Some people who were burned by Luna and UST will take what value they can and run. Also, We have no idea how he plans to implement a stablecoin on this network, but it will be watched very closely. And if he tries anything remotely risky, that could send another run through the community. I like that. That makes me feel fast. The Lunatics, as they like to be called, loved Terra, and they believed in it. I see a lot of them on Twitter, and they want to keep growing this project. They don't want to give up. So there is hope that this new fork might survive and maybe even thrive. I think it's a pretty decent plan overall. What do you think? Drop it in the comments. I'd especially love to hear from some of the Lunatics on how they're taking this. No idea how long it will take before the airdrop, but I'd expect at least a few months. So sit tight, stay subscribed, and I'll make sure to update you about this airdrop. Speaking of which, the biggest airdrop of the year is lining up already.
Ooh.
Check this video out to see if you have some loot on the way.